Okay, goddesses and gods, or gods and goddesses, we're back. And we're going to continue where we left off. As I told you, I'm going to give you this because I love you. And I want to see you reach your higher self. I want us all to go there together. See, this is what's happening in the universe. As you see the shifting and the spinning, see how the days are shorter? And it's not because it's wintertime. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with space. We're in space spinning. So now you get up in the morning and 12 hours seem like 6, right? Have you noticed? That's because we're spinning fast. The universe, there's a shifting spiritually that's actually taking place. And if you are unclear of what's happening, there's a reason for that. If you don't have a clue, it's because you're in a warp dimension of elevation. In other words, and again, this is not a put down. Your mind has been shifted to trivial things that really don't have any spiritual dividends, so to speak. Because the trick is to keep your mind off of who you are. The trick is to bury you in this grotesque system of trying to be something that carries very little weight. Now, you might, there might be people, hey, wait a minute, brother, what you talking about? You trying to say what I'm trying to do don't mean nothing? Does it? Does it? Does it over your spiritual life? Does what you're doing have precedence? Does what you're doing, is it more important than your spiritual ascension? You tell me. I don't think we got an argument, do we? Because if that is more important, whatever you're doing, if that's more important than your spiritual ascension, then my brother or my sister, you are lost. And I feel bad for you. Because you were made to be your God self. That's why you're here. And it's been the plan and the design of this system to keep you groveling for all the times that you have been, including me, until I came out of it. Why you think there's always so much focus on you? And I don't mean you as an individual, but you, I'm talking about the collective. And like I said, we're the most studied people on the planet. These people are still trying to find themselves in history. This is why they steal. This is why there's so much appropriation going on in the stealing of other people's cultures. Now, I was listening to the other day. I want to say this. You remember the song, and I'm sure all of you remember this song. Dee 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 dee. Dee dim dum dum dee day. I'm forgetting the melody somewhat, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The lion sleeps tonight. Don't you know that it was an African guy that wrote that song? And Disney and other people got a hold of that song, The Lion King, right? All of us are familiar with that. The song made multi millions. And his family obviously went to court. I don't know whether or not they got paid or they just a sad, real sad situation. And seeing the family up in court, the man's mother crying, and I think the gentleman, I think he died. I think that he died, and the family has not gotten restitution, from what I understand, as of to this day. People will steal your inventions. They will steal from you. Because on this platform, they was talking about the 10 most hidden things that were stolen from Africans, which we know there have been millions. Another one is how Picasso, we are familiar with the so-called great Picasso, right? The artiste, okay? But don't you know that Picasso stole his ideas from African art? And of course, there are those who would debate that and say, no. So how can you take the word, and it's an unfortunate situation. How can you take the word of people who have plagiarized, who have pillaged, who have stolen, the list goes on and on and on. And they've done this. This is their history. So how do you believe somebody like that? How do you, it's just like right now, what we're dealing with in the continent. You have all these European nations right now as I speak saying, continent, really help us. Can you help us? We're energy depleted. We're energy, right now we need energy. And so we have all these European nations right now going to the continent saying we need gas, we need oil, we need cobalt, we need diamonds, we need gold, we need this. Now here are the same people now. Here are the same people saying, trust us. Trust us. Can you trust us? Can you give us a chance? Can you trust us? And these are the same people who colonized, did all they can to keep the continent poor. And there's still areas in the continent that are poor because of pillaging, because of plundering, because of colonization, because of exploitation. And they're saying, trust us. Come on, really? And so, to move on, the Creator promised that the continent would come back up. It would rise again. And they still have their problems, trust me. They still have their problems, but trust me. Trust me. Trust the Creator. It's all coming to a head. It's all coming to a head. The indigenous man will rule the planet again. See, because his plans, we know that he has plans. We know that the wicked one is working overtime. And he's going to lose. You read the end of the book. He's going to lose. He's going to lose. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. And I'm going to read this some more of this, and then I'm going to give you. And I'm gonna come back again. Like I said, we have plenty of segments because this is a lot of information. This is a lot of information. I want to read to you about the African guy. His name is Simeon Togo. Okay, and how that he was like a Jesus. This story is so mind blowing, it's unreal. Okay, and this is why I'm saying to you about raising your higher self, because greater things you're gonna do when you arm yourself. That's why when you guys talk about put on the whole armor of God, what do you think that's about? You need to put on that spiritual armor. It's not religious. I can't stress this enough to you guys. It's not a religious fight. It's a spiritual fight. This is why you have to be spiritual and not religious. This is why you have to be spiritual and not religious, because there's nothing happening in the religious world. Everything that's being done in the religious world is being done by man and unfortunately woman. It's a mess. You have to come up to your spiritual, your higher self, that spiritual armor that you need to have on to gird your mind, your spirit, your soul, your emotions, your pineal, your kundalini, to guard your spirit, to put on all these things because you're going to need them. You're going to need them. And NASA leaked out this information that they know from the visitations that have been happening all around the world of these ships in the sky. They say they call them unidentified flying objects. These are ships with our ancestors. They've already been seen. There have been people who've said they've seen black folks on the ships. That's right. That's right. See, and this is so powerful because the Creator knew. The Creator already knew. Unless he does what he does, it said it will be no flesh saved, because man will destroy himself and everybody in it. If he cannot have his way, he will destroy this planet. He will destroy this planet. And that's why it's going to be spiritual intervention on the behalf of the galactic ancestors. You follow me? Now, you may call it something else. I'm saying the galactic ancestors that are traversing the stars, the planets, and the galaxies that they have been for centuries. There's nothing new under the sun, or the two suns, as I spoke of before. Okay? There's nothing new. Our ancient ancestors have been having visitation thousands of years ago of the ancestors. That's why they was able to do great feats. No one on the planet has done the feats that our ancestors done. All the castles around the world have been built by indigenous people. The Great Wall of China has been built by indigenous black Chinese. Okay? That's where the sand people come from in on the continent. And so when you look at the sand people, you'll see the resemblance of the people that call themselves Chinese today, because we were the first. And I know that comes across real strong. And there are people probably saying, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. Oh, really? Do the research and you'll find out that what I'm saying is nothing but the truth. but they don't want you to know the truth. As our garden comes to life, so do we. We wake from our sleepy state and share the infinite diversities of our inner universe for all to see and feel, and for all to be blessed by, even without doing anything, just by having our garden in delightful bloom. You got to have your garden in delightful bloom. That means having your soil right so you can have good spiritual seeds that are being planted from the universe. Okay? Those who walk by us take in, often at an unconscious level, the beneficent spectrum of our divine nature. As the saying goes, when a master walks through a village, the village changes. We are those masters in the making, and tending to our gardens is the journey. Your spiritual gardens is the journey. Tending to your spiritual life is the journey. This healing and activation process is not easy by any means, for, like the soils of Mother Earth, the soils of our DNA have been depleted, encrusted, lacking the active, intelligent substance that comes from receiving regular water and sunlight. The water is our tears, and we have many tears to shed as a species, do we not? But unlike tribal communities where grief is communally expressed and honored in ceremony as part of simply being an integrated human connected with the land, we in Euro-Western cultures have denied our emotional body. Now, see, I have a problem with that. We in Euro-Western cultures have denied our emotional body. A psychophysiology unable to weep with regularity becomes hard and detached, unable to find root in the ground and unable to open to the light above, lost between both in the horizontal matrix of our material success-driven world. Humans numb and distract themselves and call this normal. Now, they just said, or the writer just said, Euro-Western cultures have denied our emotional body. Okay, so if you denied your emotional spiritual bodies, meaning, okay, I'm assuming this is talking about white folks. See, and then it says a psychophysiology unable to weep with regularity becomes hard and detached. You know why that is? Because you are not connected. Your pineal gland is calcified. So if you don't have spiritual connectivity, it's not hard for you to not weep when you see the world doing what it's doing. You become hard and detached, unable to find your root in the ground, and unable, as it says, they're unable to open to the light above, lost between both in and the horizontal matrix of our material success-driven world. Humans numb and detract themselves and call this normal. And that's what most people do. Most people detract from what's going on in this world, and they see all this stuff around them, and they'll call it normal. They'll see black folks being killed and slaughtered in the street. That's normal to them. There's no outcry for that. There's no emotions for that when they see that happening. And so you want see, and this is the thing. And I don't mean to be harsh, but people want to have it both ways. You know how we say, you want to have your cake and eat it too? The world don't work like that. Listen, this pattern is not new. It goes back many thousands of years, all the way back to the ancient Atlantis, and before that to Lemuria, when after decades of being thriving, advanced civilizations each succumbed to the guiding influences of darkness, ones that still today cloud us from the light we are, for we are governed by the dark's legacy of patriarchal power structures determined to keep us asleep, separate and under their frequency control. So, so a lot of times too, when you hear the word darkness, and darkness is always ascribed to something bad, please make sure that you understand and understand that you read into that, because everything comes out of darkness, and everything that comes out of darkness is not bad. It was out of darkness that brought the light. Okay? Because in your Bible, it says it was moving upon the face of the waters. It was void, and darkness was upon the deep, right? And all that, right? And so the Creator lives in darkness. But He knows how to come to the light. He knows how to bring the light. It's in the darkness of the womb where life is germinated. Right? All life happens in darkness. Okay, that's another podcast. But you know what we're going to do? Because I want to bring you this other information about the African gentleman and this NASA information. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to pull that up, and we're going to be right back in a few moments, and we're going to continue. Okay? Stay with us. The Seth Moore coming to you here on Anchor by Spotify. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.